Black played. Rook d1. Pause the video to find out White's response. Knight d5. White is planning to play, pawn promotes to queen at d8, and put immense pressure on the opponent. Rook takes d5 played by Black. King takes d5. King c7. King e6. White is looking to play. King e7. King c6. Pawn promotes to queen at d8, and establish a winning position. King d8 move preferred by Black. King f6. White considers playing. King e6. King c7. King e7. King c6. Pawn promotes to queen at d8, and seizes the initiative. King takes d7 played by Black. King g5. King e6. King takes h5. King f5. White is in a commanding position. Let's go to the next game. White just played. Pawn c5. Pause the video and try to find Black's next move. Pawn e4. Rook g2. Pawn e3. Black is planning to play. Pawn e2. Rook takes e2. King takes e2, and secure a strong hold in the game. Rook g3 was chosen by White. King d2. Rook g1. Pawn e2. Black might go for bishop d4. Rook h1. Pawn promotes to queen at e1. Rook takes e1. King takes e1, and seizes the initiative. Rook g2 move preferred by White. King d3. Black is aiming to play, pawn promotes to queen at e1, and gain a significant edge. Rook takes e2 was chosen by White. King takes e2. King h7. Black has a strong upper hand. Let's go to the next game. White made a move. King b6. Pause the video to figure out Black's next move. King takes h5. King takes a6. Pawn g5. King takes b5. Pawn g4. King a6. Pawn g3. King b7. Pawn g2. Pawn c4. Pawn promotes to queen at g1. Black intends to play. Queen g7 check. King b6. Queen f6 check. King b5. Queen f7. King c5. King g5. Pawn b5. Queen c7 check, and secure a strong hold in the game. On b5. Black is in a commanding position. Let's go to the next game. Black played. On a5. Pause the video to analyze White's next move. Black intends to play. King d4. King f3. Rook b8. King g4. Pawn a4. Pawn h5. Pawn a3, and gain a significant edge. Pawn g7 played by White. White's idea is to play, pawn promotes to queen at g8, and secure a strong hold in the game. Rook b8 played by Black. Pawn h5. Rook g8. Black is planning to play, rook takes g7 check, and secure a strong hold in the game. Pawn h6 played by White. Pawn a4. King f3. King d3. Pawn h7. White is looking to play, pawn promotes to queen at hx g8, and increase their advantage significantly. Rook takes g7 played by Black. Pawn promotes to queen at h8. Rook f7 check. Black is on the verge of defeat. Let's go to the next game. White just played. King d2. Pause the video to figure out Black's next move. White is planning to play, rook takes c2, and take decisive advantage. Pawn b4 played by Black. Black is planning to play. Pawn b3. Rook h1. Pawn promotes to queen at c1 check. King takes c1. Rook a1 check. King b2. Rook takes h1 and seizes the initiative. Rook e1 move preferred by white. Rook b2. Black is preparing to play. Rook b1. King takes c2. Rook takes e1. King d2. Pawn b3. King c3. Rook e3 check. King d2. Pawn a5 and dominate the board. Pawn g4 was chosen by white. Rook b1. Black is looking to play. Rook takes e1 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Rook c1 played by white. White's idea is to play. King takes c2. Rook takes c1 check. King takes c1 and take decisive advantage. Pawn b3 move preferred by black. Pawn e5. Pawn b2. Black is planning to play. Pawn promotes to queen at bx c1 check and establish a winning position. Rook takes c2 played by white. Rook d1 check. King takes d1. Pawn promotes to queen at b1 check. King d2. White has no response. Let's go to the next game. Black played. King e6. Pause the video and try to predict white's next move. King c5. King e5. King b6. King f4. King takes a6. King takes g4. Pawn b5. King h3. Pawn b6. Pawn f5. Pawn b7. Pawn f4. Pawn promotes to queen at b8. White is preparing to play. Queen takes f4 and dominate the board. King g4. Black is struggling to keep up. Let's go to the next game. White made a move. Rook takes h4. Pause the video to figure out black's next move. Rook takes h4 check. King takes h4. Pawn c4. Pawn a4. Pawn c3. Pawn a5. Pawn c2. Pawn a6 check. King takes a6. King h5. King b7. Black intends to play. Pawn promotes to rook at c1 and establish a winning position. King g4 move preferred by white. King c7. Black considers playing. Pawn promotes to queen at c1 and increase their advantage significantly. King f5 was chosen by white. Pawn promotes to rook at c1. Black is planning to play. Rook g1. King f4. Rook takes g2 and seizes the initiative. King f4. White is struggling to keep up. Let's go to the next game. White made a move. Pawn a3. Pause the video and try to find black's next move. Pawn h5. Black is setting up to play. King g4. King d4. Pawn h4 and increase their advantage significantly. King f3 played by white. Pawn h4. Pawn a4. Pawn h3. King g3. Pawn h2. Black intends to play. Pawn promotes to queen at h1 and establish a winning position. King takes h2 played by white. King takes f4. King g1. King e4. Black intends to play. King d4. King f1. King c4. Pawn b5. Pawn takes b5. Pawn takes b5. Pawn takes b5 and gain a significant edge. King f2 move preferred by white. King d4. King e2. King c3. Black's idea is to play. King takes b4 and seize the initiative. Pawn b5 played by white. White's idea is to play. Pawn takes c6 and take decisive advantage. On takes b5 move preferred by black. On takes b5. On takes b5. King d1 white's loss is confirmed. Let's go to the next game. Black made a move. King e5. Pause the video to figure out white's next move. King takes g6. On f4. On h5. On f3. On h6. On f2. Black is aiming to play, pawn promotes to queen at f1, and put immense pressure on the opponent. On h7 move preferred by white. On promotes to queen at f1. On promotes to queen at h8 check. King e4. Queen h4 check. King d3. On d6. White's idea is to play. On d7. Queen e2. On promotes to queen at d8 check. King c2. Queen f4, and increase their advantage significantly. Queen e2 was chosen by black. King f7. White's idea is to play. On d7. King c3. On promotes to queen at d8, and gain a significant edge. Queen e5 was chosen by black. Queen f6. White's idea is to play, queen takes e5, and gain a significant edge. Queen takes a5 played by black. On d7. White might go for. On c5. Queen c7. Queen d6 check. Queen takes d6. On takes d6, and secure a stronghold in the game. King takes c4 move preferred by black. Queen h4 check. King b3. On promotes to queen at d8. Queen f5 check. White is dominating the board. Let's go to the next game. White played. King c3. Pause the video and try to find black's next move. White's idea is to play. King d4. King d7. King takes d5, and secure a stronghold in the game. King c5 played by black. Black's idea is to play. On d4 check. King d3. King d5. On g4. On takes g4, and establish a winning position. On e6 was chosen by white. White wants to play, pawn takes f7, and gain a significant edge. On takes e6 played by black. King c2. King d4. Black is looking to play. King e3. King d1. King f3. On g4. On takes g4. On takes g4. King takes g4, and put immense pressure on the opponent. King d2 move preferred by white. King e4. Black wants to play. King f3. King c3. King takes g3, and take decisive advantage. King e2 was chosen by white. On e5. King f2. On d4. Black considers playing. On d3. On h4. On d2. King e2. On promotes to queen at d1 check. King takes d1. King f3. King d2. King takes g3, and take decisive advantage. King e2 was chosen by white. On d3 check. King d2. King f3. On g4. On e4. Black might go for, pawn takes g4, and increase their advantage significantly. On takes h5 move preferred by white. On e3 check. King takes d3. On e2. On h6. On promotes to queen at e1. Black considers playing. Queen h4. King c3. King g3. On h7. Queen takes h7. On h4. Queen h5 and put immense pressure on the opponent. On h4 white is outplayed. Let's go to the next game.